Wow, we have quite a number, in our attendees. So I think it's just the time to begin. And we are also live on Facebook right now. So, welcome everyone. This is once again a virtual happy hour with an eminent person, and it's a literary brunch. I get to do this quite often with very accomplished people, and I think I'm very blessed and really lucky. Today, this entire 1 hour, we are with someone who has told us that never give up, no matter what. There will be curveballs, but then there are also eyeballs. So, which one do you focus upon, and how your journey from curveball to attracting eyeball happens? Here is an example right in front of us. Welcome, Sri NILESH SATHE ji. I know you through your book, and I also know you through the conversations of my colleagues who are in the insurance program, and they've always been talking about you. And especially what attracted me the most was the fact that you are a storyteller. And the stories on Facebook, you have a huge fan following over there. I've also heard that you did some transformation in many of the places you've been. So, whether it is personal, whether it is professional, or whether it is social life, you just came up with that big example for all of us to say, never give up. So, ladies and gentlemen, young people here, parents, children, everyone, this is 1 hour that is for all of us because Sir is here with a book that he came up with, and it says a lot of things about what his journey has been. At the very beginning, it's just a formality for me to tell about Sir and his professional roles. Of course, today we are meeting him as an author. Sathe sir has been leading banking sector, and then he moved to the insurance sector, and he also eventually, is advising NHAI right now. And he's done some innovations, and he's also led a team of people from the fear that I can't do this to said, I can do this, I will do this, and I shall do this, and there is no other way. So that's wonderful, sir. I've read the book and I've read the lines over there, which are so powerful. And to begin with, I would like to invite our director, Dr. Harivansh Chaturvedi ji, to give a formal welcome to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Saloni. Thank you, Professor Manoj Pandey. Both of you have given this opportunity. The IBM program faculty, the chair of the program, Professor Avjit Chatturaj, Pratik Pridarshi ji, other colleagues. Just I liked the title of the book and have got inkling about the story inside. And it is second time I was feeling moved. So in the faculty WhatsApp group, just I have given a sad news that the father of one of the faculty passed away in early morning. Few days back, one of our faculty passed away. 2 staff members are infected, and we have to close our offices for 1 week or so. So on faculty WhatsApp group, I posted the title of the book, a poster about this program, and below that poster I have written, we will also never give up.
Yes,
Come what may, we will also, just I added also, we shall also not give up. And this is the feeling for BIMTech, this is the feeling of the country that never give up. And these are the times this message given by him on the title of his cover of his book needed, even for Prime Minister, for political leaders, corporate leaders, families who are suffering. Father expired, then sons expired, and there is nobody to perform the last rites. One retired district judge of UP and his wife, they were living at Lucknow. District judge, retired district judge, expired because of COVID. His wife expired, not the judge. And he's sending a written message to some people that nobody is here to help us. My wife expired, and I do not know how should I, because there are no space available at cremation grounds. So Sathe sir has faced lot of upheavals in his life. He's a he's an achiever. He's a fighter in personal life. He has done a lot for the nation. He has been a student leader. He has been a union leader. He has joined LIC, served the LIC, the insurer, life insurer of the country for a long time, worked for IRDA, which was also a pioneering effort of the nation to liberalize the insurance sector. So he has done whatever he could do for the nation, for the society. In personal life, he has to suffer a lot since his childhood. So I have not read the book, but I am feeling as if my eyes are wet. A person, and sir, before you, I have only one person who can match the turbulence in your life. He is a CEO of Yamuna Expressway, Dr. Arunveer Singh, and he is a wonderful human being. He has been our visiting faculty. Now he is an IAS officer. He is also the CEO of the international airport, which is being set up very near to our campus. Somebody told me that he has lost 5 members in his family because of cancer.
Sad.
5 members.
My God.
And once I dared to ask him, how could he manage his life after facing so much difficult times? Then he explained me that how could he face all these sorrows, and I think he is embodiment of the message of Gita, that you are empowered to take your duty, thy duties, perform your duties, and forget about the results. So he is managing the remaining members of the family, and the disease came from his in-laws. So he lost, I think, one of his child, his wife, and 2, 3 other members of his in-laws. And now he is somehow managing, and he is considered very efficient officer of UP Civil Services. So I would like to buy some good number of copies of your book. When people come to me crying for their sorrows and feeling depressed, I do a lot of counseling for my colleagues and my students and my relatives, because these are the times of sorrows. When Whenever I talk to any friend, ex-colleague, or any person, everybody is conveying a story that they are suffering. So in these difficult times, we need your book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think everybody has a lot of anecdotes in their life which can be a big moral booster for all of us. And therefore, it's important for everybody to document it, write books. And one of our professor who has traveled across the globe in his professional journey has also written a wonderful book. And I want to talk about Dr. K.C. Arora, who's also a registrar. And I remember when he was writing his book, the stories were so amazing. And thank God there are people who are documenting it for us. So that's the reason why I would now like Professor Arora to say a few words, because now, sir, I invite you to speak as an author and why it is important for you to share the stories with the world. Please unmute yourself, Arora, sir. So please unmute yourself.
Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Nilesh sir.
Good
I
morning.
myself have written a book narrating my experiences about banking industry. So actually, the aspiration was from our director, sir, that I should write some anecdotes from banking experience, because whenever we used to interact in informal ways, I used to tell those anecdotes and he liked them a lot. So when he felt that I must be having many more such anecdotes, then he suggested me that I put all those anecdotes in a book so that the readers can benefit from the insights which I had drawn from those episodes. So strictly going by banking experience, those episodes were regarding customer relations management, credit risk management, general enterprise risk management, your office dynamics, and banking line practice. What these episodes, there were 88 episodes. These were learnings of my life, which I shared with my readers. And now we are preparing for the second edition. And we prefer this edition to be Kindle edition online, because I got some feedback to change the sequences of the episodes and to delete some episodes and to add some more episodes. So that process will start soon, and my publisher is agreeable to put on Kindle and reduce the price also, so that more people reach to this book. So actually sharing experiences, it becomes credible. When I am saying that I worked so and so places in so and so positions, and I have faced this, experienced this, then this becomes very credible. And when it is credible, coming from heart, then whatever insight I got, whatever experience really I got, then I can share that. That becomes useful to the readers also. So in the same series, NILESH SATHE has written a book, and really I'm interesting. The title is also good and very catchy. So definitely I will read this book. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Director sir. Thank you, SATHE. This is a good opportunity for us to be with you.
Thank you very much, Arora sir. So making of a book is not easy. You have to be a story to tell a story. And I would now like to, start my interaction about SATHE sir's live episodes. And a few things that I found common in our thread was, sir, you mentioned theater, you mentioned magic, and you mentioned the magic of the women who were with you. So I would like to start with a very brief interaction of yours, your ties with the ties in your life. So the number of ties you have mentioned in the book, sir, please let us know quickly about what happened in your early days and how your mother, who you call Tai, what role she played. And there was one sentence which always resonated, always around you. So I'll give that sentence later, sir. Stories about your mother now.
Yeah. Actually, my mother, I will say all credit goes to her shaping my personality. Yeah. What happened, I lost my father when I was barely 4 years of age. And we were in Mumbai that time. And it was difficult for my mother to pull on family in Mumbai alone with 2 children, me and my sister. So she decided to move to a place where she can independently bring us up. And that place was Kosbad, which is a small village in Thane district. And it was actually established by Padma Vibhushan Taratai Modak. And for Adivasis, she had established it for their education and for giving them training in nursing and in education, so on and so forth. And my mother joined there as a teacher. There was no electricity in Kosbad that time. My primary education was there in another village, this village as well as another one. And in both the villages, there was no electricity. So up to 4th standard, I lived in place where electricity was not there. And this Taratai Modak was a great social reformer. I had mentioned it. I have mentioned in the book the way she also shaped up my personality. She was not only a social reformer; she knew the child psychology very well. There is one small incident which I have mentioned there. I will just quote here. Every day in the evening, there used to be a prayer in the evening, and everybody from that Kosbad village, it was so small. Most of the students and the teachers, they used to assemble, and Taratai Modak will give some sort of advice or something, what happened during the day or something. And in the end, sometimes she used to say that tomorrow some 2-3 students will speak on some subject. That was essential because they should not have stage fear going forward. So one day she announced that tomorrow the students of first standard will speak on a subject, my pet animal. And I came home, I said, yes, I want to speak on this subject. And I prepared myself without taking help of my mother. And I liked parrot. So I prepared a small couple of sentences on parrot. And when I spoke there, stage fear was not there. I spoke very well. I was very happy because whatever I had decided to speak, I could speak. Some friends also, they spoke. And surprisingly, when prizes were announced, my name was not there.
Not there, yeah.
I did not get the prize. And I became sad. On coming back home, I asked my mother, who was standing next to Taratai Modak, when she announced the prizes. I asked my mother, why did I not get a prize? I spoke so well, even better than others. She said, Nilesh, Taratai was really impressed with what you spoke. But what was the subject? Subject was my pet animal. You spoke on bird. You should know that there is a difference between a bird and animal. And although Taratai was to give you first prize, I only told her that this is not correct. He should understand the difference between a bird and animal, and you should not give him a prize. Actually, that was the first lesson in my life, that without preparation of the subject, you should not stand on dais. And that I followed every time, whenever I had a reason to stand up and speak. Without making preparation, taking down some notes, I never give extempore speech. Now see, such anecdotes, they shape you up. And then I got double promotion there. From first standard, I directly went into the third standard because I was quite good at studies. And this is what about our initial days. They were very tough, but my mother used to give us some activity. I will say she was a born teacher. There were lanterns. So every day in the evening, she will ask me and my sister to clean up the glass of the lantern with ash. And that was to enable us to have proper motor functions of hands and how glass should be handled carefully. Now see, this is what parents should think of. They should not do everything on their own. They should give their children, siblings also, some work through which they will learn something. Now this is another lesson for parents also.
Absolutely. I think that's why I said, शुरू में ही मैंने इसीलिए बोला कि ये एक सेशन ऐसा है, it's going to teach us a lot of things: ethics, values, commitment, role of a sibling, role of a parent, mother. We always anchor ourselves, on the values we learn from the mother. So, and of course, I mean, unfortunately, your dad wasn't with you and you don't have much of the memory. So mother was there, strong. But sir, you are lucky. आपकी मम्मी ने आपको double promotion allow किया, मेरी मम्मी ने मुझे नहीं allow किया था. So, but then I think that's great because the learning is very, very powerful right now.
Yes.
But sir, मुझे आपसे theater के बारे में भी जानना है, because I remember you have shared in the book.
Yes.
एक character आपने play किया और आप जैसे उसको जी रहे थे.
No, actually, when I was in school, I developed liking for dramas. And we used to stage dramas during our Ganesh festival. Ganesh festival is, those days was celebrated in a different manner, actually. There used to be dramas and songs and so on and so forth. Now that it's all stopped. And there was an officer from State Bank of India, Mr. Dantale, who used to write dramas for children and also guide them, direct them. And we used to stage those dramas. So we were very happy, during those days. And every year we used to take part in dramas. One year it so happened that I was in 10th. And the senior collegians from our colony, they had decided to stage a 2-act play. I was keen on taking part, but I was too small because I had no role there. But I used to go enjoy, and almost I had by heart, all the characters' dialogues. And when the actual it was being staged, my mother said, "See, tomorrow is Saturday, and we have got a morning school at 7 o'clock. I wake up at 5 o'clock. I want both of you to come back from Ganesh festival, watching whatever you plan to, at latest by 12 o'clock. That was quite okay because the drama was to start at 9 and it was 2.5-hour drama. So I calculated, I said, yes, okay. So both of us went. It so happened that in the second act, it started raining and there was interruption. But I did not want to miss the climax, which I knew that climax is very hilarious at the end. It was a comedy drama. So my sister was very particular. She immediately left home, came back home. She was elder than me by 1.5 years. But I somehow thought, what will happen? It will just be over in 5-10 minutes. I will finish it and then go. And by the time I reached home, I found the door was closed. I requested my mother, in Marathi we call I. I said, I open the door. She said, what time have you come? I said, it may be 10-15 minutes past 12. So you are late. Now you be outside only till 5 o'clock. I will wake up at 5 o'clock and open the door for you. Oh my God, I was not afraid of staying outside, but it was very awkward for me, staying outside the house. My grandfather was also that time with us. He also, after some time, with a lot of my persuasion, mother was not budging, but then my grandfather put a word and he said, Prabha, which is my mother's name, you open the door, punishment is enough for him. You may ask him what punishment he wants. Punish him, but allow him entry at home. Then my mother asked me, what punishment do you want? I said, whatever you give, but now open the door. So she said, insert your hand from the window. There were bars to the windows, So I inserted my left hand. And I was waiting for mother. I thought she will, have some foot putty or balan on my hand, palm, Suddenly, I got almost a shock. And I, took back my hand quickly. And it was cindering of agarbatti. She gave me that एक चटका दिया मेरे को. तो फिर मैं अंदर आया तो मदर ने कहा कि देखो उसको तुम घी लगाओ. Now you will remember for life the importance of coming on time.
And you continue to,
Thereafter, maybe in any of our meetings or anywhere, I make it a point that people don't have to wait for me. Now, today parents may think that it was a cruel punishment to the child. But was it really cruel? I think it was required for her because she was managing the entire family alone.
Right.
And had she not punished me, but excused me, probably I would have repeated it time and again.
Sir, इसलिए आपकी बुक में एक सेंटेंस कई जगह आया है, never get tempted to do wrong things in life.
Yes.
So ये honesty and ethics and all that. तो ये जो skill है public speaking का and compassion, sensitivity, discipline, I think she brought it in you very beautifully, sir. We also want to know from you, Sathe sir, एक शिवाजी सरदार Pilaji Rao, Jadhav Rao.
Oh my God. Achha. See, actually what happened, I used to take part in dramas in All India Radio, Nagpur. And I was accredited child artist. And almost every month I used to get contract. And you'll be surprised, that time All India Radio used to give initially 5 rupees, then 10 rupees. And the last contract which I got was 50 rupees.
Wow.
So it was okay, fun. And Purushottam Darvekar, a very well-known drama writer from Maharashtra, he had written a drama on the life of a Sardar of Shivaji Maharaj. And the name of Sardar was Jadhav Rao. And I was to act as son of Jadhav Rao. And there is a war. And Jadhav Rao has to go to fight the war. Shivaji Maharaj directs him to go. I am just maybe 10, 12 years of age that time. But I say, no, I also want to join you in fighting the war. So very reluctantly, he takes me to the battlefield. And it so happens that with the arrow, I get killed in the drama. Now, how do I show on radio that I am being hit by an arrow and I am getting killed, I am dying? That was explained to me by Purushottam Darvekar, whom we admire much. How will you express yourself? Because you are not seen there. It is not a TV. TV, of course, was not there those days. On the screen, you are not seen. But through your voice modulation, you should be in a position to make everybody aware that you are now dying. So that was a great experience and I really enjoyed.
इसलिए मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा ये story because of two things. One, that it talks about communication, voice modulation. I'm a communication faculty. I picked up a lot of things from your book, and I've also been on radio in my school days. And इसमें the sentence I want to read from your book. It says, "Even I could not prevent tears on my death." So I think that's so wonderful, sir. जब मैं पढ़ रही हूँ तब भी मैं ये चीज visualize कर पा रही हूँ, and that's the power of communication. I'm so glad you wrote these stories for us. So Sathe sir, life has not been very easy, we know. So there has, you talked about war in a radio theater, but to be very honest, life itself is a stage, and we keep hearing this. You have seen a lot of drama around you, death, disease. I don't know. I mean, it has been just so tough for you. So you have never given up. So tell us some of these stories so that we also learn better how to cope in situations where we see the struggle and trauma of people around us and lose some of our favorite people. Or otherwise also the current situation in the world is we are all grieving.
Saloni, good you asked me this question. Actually, it's not that only I have faced such challenges in life. Everybody, because there is no person on earth who has got only good things in his life. Everybody has got faced challenges in life.
Absolutely.
And the only thing is I have painted it down. That's the only difference, I will say. Even the experiences in LIC, yesterday I was talking to Manoj. I said, Manoj, you also have faced a lot of such difficult situations when you were in LIC as a branch manager. The only difference is I have painted down. It's not that it is unique, but then it is necessary that we should share it with people so that the next generation gets a ready-made solution in such situations. Not necessary that the situations will be identical. But I'll just give you one small example. My mother had cancer when I was in 10th, and she was to be operated at Tata Memorial Hospital. I went with her. Every 3 months, she had to have checkup. And I went with her when I was in college, first year BSc. I wanted to become a professor of mathematics. I was fond of mathematics, statistics, so I took that combination, mathematics, statistics, and physics. And when I saw there the pathetic condition of the patients, my heart sank, honestly. On the top of it, when my mother was operated, there were 2 of her close relatives who were also operated. And when I went with my mother, I learned that both of them have expired. You will be surprised, those days, it was only X-ray on the basis of which doctors used to do surgeries. Just imagine, there were no specialty equipments available. So anyway, on coming back, I spoke with my mother. I said, I want to move from science stream to commerce stream. She said, why? I said, no, honestly, I'm really shaken up badly because of hearing the death of our two close relatives of cancer. And God forbid, but if something happens to you, I should be in a position to continue my education. And commerce I can continue even privately. I don't have to go to college regularly. But suppose I have passed BSc first year and second year and something happens and I have to give up my college, then I will never be a graduate. Here at least I will be in a position to study privately and pass my BCom. She was happy with my decision. She advised me to meet principal of the Commerce College, GS College of Commerce, a very famous college from Nagpur. My elder sister was also studying in the same college. I met him and he advised me that it's your good choice. Your marks are good. Not many students getting so high marks in HSC. They join commerce stream. You will definitely do well. And that was my foundation. So he said, you already 6 months are over. So you better take admission in the earlier year, that is pre-university. And that really helped me. I listened to his advice. And I came out.
Sir, आपको एक बार भी नहीं लगा कि मैं तो, because everybody, all of us have gone through this phase where we had to be an engineer or a doctor. आपको एक बार भी नहीं लगा कि नहीं मुझे engineering कर लेंगे? I mean, let me arrange, do something. Why did you think of this? Because this is a very big decision at that time. Your whole career would be accordingly.
Yes, but Saloni, honestly, let me tell you, I never wanted to do engineering. I wanted to be a professor. And maths was my pet subject. So I wanted to do that. But then this is called mid-course correction. In management terms, we say that, okay, if I am not able to do BSc, then what is it that I should do? Mm-hmm. Mid-course correction. So this is a management lesson that do not unnecessarily still continue with that. And then tomorrow, if something happens, then what you do? You are stuck.
True.
So better to have a mid-course correction and do that. Take it forward.
Wow. Yeah. So what's the harm? I mean, there's always a second path open in front.
Yes.
And we should have our eyes and ears open. And when it comes from the heart, then you know you're going right. So thank you once again for sharing this anecdote. Sir, what should I talk about first? Banking, because वहाँ से भी बड़ी interesting stories हैं. We started there. अच्छा sir, banking से start करते हैं because LIC came later. So
yes.
Yeah.
I joined bank initially because after graduation, I did not want to do post graduation or chartered accountancy for two reasons. One is, of course, I wanted to support my mother.
Yes.
So I took up a job, first Canara Bank and then moved to Bank of India. I was a cashier. I was a cashier for 4 years. It was a small rural branch with population of hardly 5,000. I spent there 3-4 years. And during those years, there were no customers because it was such a small branch. People did not have banking habits. And that helped me to study my post-graduation. Because in BCom, I missed my first class by whisker. But in MCom, I came out with flying colors. That was possible only because I was posted in a small rural branch where there was no work. It so happened that when it used to rain heavily, there used to be no customers visiting at all to the branch. Then my branch manager will withdraw 50 rupees from his account and credit to my account. I'll withdraw 50 from my account and credit to his account. These transactions we used to do so that our area office should not think that we have closed our branch that day.
Oh.
There are good experiences working in bank, no doubt about it. I have got adequate enough of it, but then I have not narrated many here in this book.
But ये छोटा सा episode, sir, this itself is telling us that, when there is time, utilize it. I mean, why do you want to just say, ये नहीं हो रहा, वो नहीं हो रहा, काम नहीं है? Because there's so much that is the space you've got to build yourself, and you did fantastically, and you got a first division, so congratulations to that.
Thank you.
First division matters a lot even today. Sathe sir, how did this transition happen, and from banking, from being a cashier to
Yes.
a probationary officer in LIC.
See, what happened, Saloni, I came back to Nagpur on request transfer after 3 years of completion of my cashiership. It took some 6 months for getting me posting in Nagpur. And then my mother was after me that you should get married, because I was already 25, 26 that time. And she said, what is this? Why you should wait? I said, why should I get married so soon? I want to become officer, and within 5 years, because that time for a clerk to become an officer, there was a 5-year minimum term required. Yes. So I said, I have passed my CAIB. I will become officer immediately in the first opportunity. So wait for a while, let me become officer. She said, oh, if you want to become an officer, I want to get you married before you become an officer. I said, why? That is because I know bank officers get posted to rural areas and initially for 5-10 years. Yes, yes, and then arranging alliance for you will be difficult for me. So my alliance was fixed, and we got married. My wife that time was in LIC.
Okay.
And one day in the month of August or so, she came with an advertisement of assistant administrative officer of LIC. And said, here is an advertisement for a direct recruit officer. There are only 60 vacancies all over India. Why don't you apply? I said, I don't want to join LIC. I will be officer in another 6 months in bank. Why should I become officer in LIC? She said, you are saying as if somebody has offered you the post. You have first to appear for written test, then give interview. And if selected, choice is yours whether to join or not. But at least prove your merit. Right. Oh my God, that was a big challenge for me given by my wife. And there were only last 2 days left for application. I got all clearances from bank and applied through proper channel. Wrote the written test. I was good in maths, so the papers were quite easy for me. Reasonably good at English and GK also. So I knew that I will pass the written test.
You're being humble, sir. And you can see you're so eloquent and expressive.
And then I got selected. Now, having got selected, now I also thought that if both of us are in the same organization, probably the employer will be kind enough to post us in the same place. Okay. But if I am in a bank and she is in LIC, probably we may have to live separate lives, which I have seen in case of many of my friends. So then finally, I decided that I should join LIC as a direct recruit also. So she was instrumental in bringing me in LIC. Okay. So I always used to say that you are senior to me in LIC.
So we should be thankful to ma'am that, we get to hear so many stories from you. And once again, the never give up is just shining even brighter now, because one sentence I remember Professor Arora had told me once: never reject your own application. It just is sticking in my head till date, and I have followed it very strongly.
Right.
And you also are asserting the same. So you got married and you became, an officer in LIC. It was so difficult. Father's death at the age of 4. Mother gets cancer when there's standard 12 happening. And then, mother was fighting, bouncing back. And you got all that energy, and you also kept fighting, to be there at the forefront. So very anchored, because it's not easy. You generally break down, or else you have emotional meltdowns, and people around you also were so good that they kept you going ahead and ahead. So I'm so glad that they were around you, sir, because that's again something which I want to tell from this forum to each and everyone here. Never stay alone when you're fighting within. It's important to reach out. There are people around you. They don't give up on you. So how can you give up on yourself? So never give up in whatever circumstances life puts you through. So big message from your life. And I think many of us are living certain moments of our own lives while listening to you. But sir, मुझे मालूम है प्रोफेशनल लाइफ इतना तो आसान होता नहीं है. ऑफिसर बनकर वो यूनियन खड़ा हो जाता है सर, फिर क्या होता है? We want to hear from you. फिर साथे सर कैसे नेवर गिव अप करते हैं, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है जानना.
एक तो मुझे एडवांटेज ये मिला कि मैं स्टूडेंट लीडर था, फिर मैं यूनियन लीडर भी था बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में जब था तब. तो मुझे मालूम था कि ये यूनियन लीडर्स किस तरीके से बर्ताव करते हैं. तो जब मैं सीनियर था मुंबई में, तो एक यूनियन ने मुझे घेराव किया. एंड द रीजन वाज देयर वाज वन assistant who submitted fake LTC bills without traveling. He had submitted the bills,
Okay.
and which was proved. So I said, you accept. I gave him a chance. I said, you accept and refund the money. He said, do whatever you want to do.
Oh.
I said, okay, now I have to teach him a lesson. So I issued him a charge sheet. And this union, which was a local union, I don't have to name, you would have guessed, they were very, very unhappy with my taking action against their member. So they ghettoed me. One day they came and said, you are being ghettoed. 25, 30 people, they rushed into my cabin without intimation. So I called my sub-staff. I said, Sham, you close the door from outside. If I am being ghettoed and I am not allowed to leave this room, nobody else will be allowed to leave this room. Now, that was the first shock to them. They thought that after some time, five people will go out, 5 people will get in. That is generally what happens. So I asked him to bolt the door from outside. Then they said, sir, this is not correct. He's our member, active member. I said, okay. I said, gentlemen, listen to me. He has defrauded the corporation. And I am sitting here as a trustee of widow's money. Had it been from my pocket that he would have defrauded me, I would have given it up. I would have just let him go. But this is not my money. This is widow's money. And as a trustee, it is absolutely my duty to ensure that this money is refunded back to the corporation. So whatever you want to do, you do. But he will have to face the inquiry. I had given him a chance to refund the money. He did not accept. Now inquiry will be there. And whatever will be the punishment awarded by the authority, means whatever will be suggested, it will be given. One of the members, he stood up and said, sir, for the first time we are coming across that a person who is ghettoed has a bigger voice, louder voice than us who are known for shouting. I said, see, I am not shouting without reason. I am only saying, if you agree that he has not done wrong, you tell me. Pin drop silence because everybody knew that he has done wrong. Finally, they said, sir, at least do not tell other union leaders that our Gherav failed. I said, don't worry, I will not tell anybody. But then I will write in the book.
Wow, that's like a dawn, talking to us. Wow, that's like a superpower you have, sir. How did you get so much of courage? Because in our official life, personal life, we do face these situations. We keep sulking within, and we are fighting within ourselves, and we are like, no, I can't speak up. So, what do you want to say to this younger generation? Because definitely there'll be conflicts. There'll be such people, whom you have to manage, and
Yes.
in such a sober and very gentle way, one can also come across as a winner in such situations. Difficult it was, I'm sure. So, what would you like to say, sir?
So, the first thing is your conscience should be clear.
Yeah.
If you are honest to yourself, then nobody on earth can stop you from doing right things. And if your conscience is clear and you are honest to yourself, you should not budge from your stand.
Perfect.
There may be pressures. Pressures will always be there.
Yeah,
But
there is a lot of buy in, buy out, at that time. And
one more thing I will tell you, Salome, that many times the officers want to take a soft stand under the pretext that bosses will not support me. But honestly, I tell you, if you are in a position to convince bosses that this is the right stand which is required to be taken, at least in my case, it never happened that they ditched me. They always supported me. And there are a lot of instances in the book which I have mentioned,
yeah,
that there is no reason for you to, allow indiscipline or wrong things to be continued, knowing well that these are wrong. No. If I know that this is wrong, it must be stopped. So you have to take a stand.
true, sir.
And it gives you courage.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives you courage.
Absolutely, sir. So yeah, true. So I think honesty is the best policy. Wasn't just a phrase to be written in our English essay assignments or in the moral science books. It's for us to practice. And if we are true to ourselves, वो courage तो sir इतना strong आप बन जाते हो. You dare the world and to hell with
Yes,
everything. I'll
yes, yes.
do this. What is right is right. And then because of the power of truth, people who are in the path of like you said fraud and others, they fear you, and then they start checking their steps. So the more you push your truth self ahead, the faster the people who are doing wrong will start stepping back. So
Right. I will
that's
just
courage.
I will just share a small story here. I was a branch manager in one of the branches in Pune division, Solapur, and it was a very notorious branch. And one day, cashier was to be on leave, so we had a panel of cashiers. So whose name was there? He was asked to take charge of cash keys, means cash keys. He refused. He said, "I will never be the cashier. I don't want to be." And the in charge of cash, the officer came to me and said, "Mr. So and so is refusing to take keys." I said, "Send him. You also come with him." I said, "What is the problem?" He said, "No, मेरी मर्जी, मुझे नहीं बैठना है कैश पे." मैंने बोला, "अरे क्यों, क्या हो गया, कुछ गड़बड़ है क्या, घर में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या?" "नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो आपको क्या लेना देना है, मुझे नहीं बैठना है." मैंने बोला, "ये तुम्हारा निर्णय जो है वो पक्का है?" "बिल्कुल पक्का है." बोले। मैंने उसको वही बिठाया, स्टेनो को बुलाया, उसको सस्पेंशन का लेटर डिक्टेट किया
उनके सामने
"यू आर हियर बाय सस्पेंडेड फ्रॉम सर्विसेज ऑफ कॉर्पोरेशन." एंड वो आई 10 मिनट में चिट्ठी लेके, मैंने साइन किया, उसको दिया, एक्नॉलेजमेंट लिया, हमने बोला अब तुम जा सकते हो। अब ये पूरी ब्रांच में चर्चा हो गई कि इसको सस्पेंड किया। यूनियन लीडर्स आ गए, "सर आपको पता है क्या कि ब्रांच मैनेजर को सस्पेंशन की अथॉरिटी नहीं होती है, वो सीनियर के पास होती है?" मैंने बोला, "मुझे जो मालूम है वो पूरा मालूम है, आपको जो करना है वो करो, और मुझे अगर पूछना है कि आपने क्यों सस्पेंड किया तो सीनियर पूछेंगे, आप नहीं पूछ सकते." And in the night, I got a call from senior DM, "Nilesh, what is it you have done? Don't you know that you cannot suspend an employee?" I said, "Yes, sir, I know that, but I have done it with a purpose. Give me 24 hours. Tomorrow, either I will ensure that he takes charge of cash or I revoke his suspension. It's not an ego problem for me. I will revoke his suspension, no problem. But I wanted to show to people that what action can be taken." And you'll be surprised what I did. I went to a newspaper editor known to me and I said, "This is a suspension letter. You have to publish this news that Mr. So-and-so is suspended on front page." He said, "Yes, I will do it because I have got a proof." And next day when that news appeared, my God, in small places, it becomes a talk of the town. That fellow got so embarrassed. He came before the office opened at my residence. My quarters were just behind the branch. He came at 9 o'clock. He said, "Touch my feet, sir. I'm sorry. I listened to wrong people. I will never say no now. Please excuse me. I'm ready to work as cashier." I said, "Really? Really? Okay. So you be there at 9:45. I asked the officer also used to come early only. And I took the letter of suspension from him, and in front of him, along with the acknowledgement, I tore it off.
Oh.
And then, in the meanwhile, when the union leader came and saw that this fellow is sitting on cash, he got wild. He said, "What is this? Why?" He said, "Don't teach me anything. Going forward, I am not going to be your member at all."
So, Sathe sir, आपके साथ you're a Pied Piper then, you're kind of pulling away people to yourself, and wow, I mean, amazing. This is interesting. But sir, Sathe sir, not everything was that easy, right?
Yes.
I mean, I know that you went through some really challenging times. So that period of 2011 and 12, despite being this warrior, there was a time when you had to kind of go into the oblivion also. So, sir, would it be easy for you to share that story, or?
No, Saloni, I will definitely share my story of my illness with people. Actually, what happens, when dreaded disease like cancer, you come to know that you have. Psychologically, you are half finished.
I understand, sir. Yeah.
And I personally did not think that everything is over because I had seen my mother fighting cancer.
Yeah.
This was one. Second is my wife was also a fighter. And at such stage in my life, I got cancer when my both children were graduate, they had jobs, they were well settled. One was married also. This also plays an important role. I should not unnecessarily boast myself of being too courageous. But if you have got responsibilities still to be there, then psychologically it impacts you too much. Fortunately for me, that was not the case. Financially, I was well off. I was executive director, so okay, everything was quite good. So that was a good solace for me. My sister and my brother-in-law, in after my mother, it was my sister who almost took over the role of my mother. And at every time they came to the rescue of my wife and me. And that was another thing, because if your close people are around, then you get some psychological push as well. This is also one very important thing. Third thing is, I always thought to myself that what is it in my life that I have yet to do? I had just taken charge of LIC Nomura Mutual Fund as CEO. And I was posted there by the chairman with confidence that I will make a turnaround.
Yeah.
So that is something which I have to do. I have yet to do. So that is something which is remaining. So after my first cancer surgery, although doctors said that chemotherapy is not required, still within 13 months, again, secondaries developed on liver. So 30-40% liver resection was done. Liver grows. So that was not a problem. Again, 6 series of chemos were given. Every chemo cycle used to be for 40 hours. And that is like almost like a poison they inject in your body, 1 drop every 20 seconds. And after I used to come back home, I used to feel so exhausted that it was difficult for me even to stand on my own legs. But I decided that the next day I will go to office. Because if I do not go to office the next day, probably the day thereafter also I will feel that I should not go to office.
My God.
And I used to take help of wall. I used to, touch the wall and go to my room and sit in my chair. But once I sit there, even for signing a paper, it was difficult for me. Honestly, let me tell you. But I did not stop going to office because I knew that at some stage, if you collapse, then it is difficult for you to stand. This was one. Second is, my wife took good care of my all diet and everything. Still, despite all this, again, secondaries developed after 14 months. And I was operated again of liver cancer. Again, 30% of liver was removed. And but somehow, when that was done, I don't know how, but internally, after the operation was over and I gained consciousness, I thought internally that I am out of cancer now. I have won over the cancer.
Lovely.
Internally only I thought. I do not know how. But then, by grace of God, thereafter I am cancer free. Wow. Either you are with cancer or you are cancer free. That is one important thing in cancer, because there is nothing midway. You don't have to take medicines or anything. And then finally, when I applied for IRDA post as member and got selected, I met the doctor who operated upon me. I said, "Doctor, you have to advise me from my health point of view whether I should take this assignment or not. It's not a question of money, although I was going to get double the salary that I was getting in LIC. I said, money is not a problem. It's going to be a new place, new work, because that type of work I had never done in the past. And from my health point of view, you advise. If you say you don't go, I will not go." And I will give 100% credit to the surgeon. He said, "Mr. Sathe, what is it in your mind that you should do?" I said, "I think I should accept this assignment." He said, "Then why you're asking me? You go. If at all cancer has to erupt again, we will get it operated again.
Wow.
And if it has to erupt, it may erupt in Mumbai also, even if you continue here. So don't worry about that. If you think that, yes, I should accept this challenging assignment, you go.
Super.
And then I accepted this.
Wow. Yeah, so I was just going through the book, and also Pandey sir has been sharing a lot about your journey. He said, I'm getting goosebumps actually, sir. I work very closely with terminally ill patients and palliative care, so I've seen that struggle. But one beautiful, sir, self-belief, and then there are some people who trust you so much. As I said, never give up, and there are people who are not ready to give up on you. So at least trust them. Even if you are falling apart, there's somebody telling you, you can do it, you can make it. Just trust them and just draw that energy from there and never fall. So, sir, 2 operations, 6 chemo sessions while in office, and then the mutual fund unit went to 13,000 crores. Despite that, and then you moved ahead at the age of 58, a new inning, new place, IRDAI, life member, a city like Hyderabad, and you've done so many things. So, but what is closest to your heart amongst all these assignments that you have taken up?
Actually, I like 2 assignments. One was Sholapur, which was really a challenging assignment. I was
waiting to hear that, yes.
It was a challenging assignment, and those who have worked in LIC in that zone probably those days will know how the branch was notorious. That was challenging assignment. And second was my innings in pension and group schemes. Because for 2 reasons. One, I could get in touch with a lot of top officials of corporate world. I met Mr. Nandan Nilekani. I met so many. You just name and I have met them. Chairman of almost all banks.
Yes, I'm sure.
And that gives you an insight on how you should behave with others. Nandan Nilekani is such a educated fellow, but wearing a t-shirt and a jean pant in his office, I was taken aback. I said, what a sense of simplicity. And he spent good 30 minutes with me. Otherwise, he could have said, okay, you have come to give me policy. Okay, bye-bye. Have a cup of tea with my PA and bye-bye. Now, see, this is the simplicity that these people have that you learn by meeting the top officials. So that was one good assignment that I had.
So I think this interaction with you is a masterclass on so many things already. Yeah, we are drawing so much from your experiences. So the energy is just powerful, the aura, we are picking up so much. But sir, despite all the challenges, right from the early age, you still are always so innovative. You kept bringing new ideas, and you kind of transformed LIC also. So can you share that journey with us? I want you to share this so that, the people who are added with us today, they would know that, how important it is to rethink the place where you are and find a new way of working also. So quickly, sir, about that innovation.
Not innovation as such, but you should always think, how can I do this job in a better way?
Better way, yes.
Than what people have been doing, than the way the people have been doing.
Questioning the status quo, sir, that's not easy either.
Question the status quo. And you will always find that, yes, there is a scope for doing it in a better manner. But if you don't apply your mind and think that this is what is mentioned in the manual, do not consider it as a holy book. These are guidance notes for people who operate.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop you from applying your mind. Otherwise, robots would have been recruited.
Exactly.
So apply your mind. Walk an extra mile to help the customer. And the blessings you get from the customers are so ample and, unaccountable that you feel so happy. Many times a customer comes with a request which you cannot, fulfill. But then if you apply your mind and think, okay, if I had been in his place, how I would have felt about LIC. And if within the frame, if rules, if you can help him, you help him. Actually, customer is always first. And it is the customer who pays salary to us. I always used to think on these lines that it is not the employer. Employer only credits salary to my account, but it is the customer who is paying me salary. Because he is giving me premium, I am getting my salary. And this is one thing which I always kept on telling my staff, my agents, and everybody.
So thank you so much, Sathe sir. There are a few questions and everybody is so inspired. I'll take just one or two maybe, and if there are more, we can always write to you about them. But
Sure.
I want everyone to pick up the book, Never Give Up. It's available on Amazon. And why you should pick it up is not because it is Sathe sir's journey, it is also our journey. And each anecdote is actually ingraining in us a lot of values, which we must demonstrate in our day-to-day lives with everybody around us. So one question I found was people have asked you, sir, that you took a bold decision, challenging situations always in front of you. A student has asked, Ria Singh has asked a very interesting question. I'd like to I want you to answer this for her. Did you find any difference in the union leadership of Kolkata and East and West, not naming the states?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
Degree may differ.
Okay.
But in general, they behave, means behavioral pattern is almost same.
Okay. And so I wanted to also read a few comments. Okay, Manish is a senior alumni of our college, and he says that it does require a lot of courage to be honest and follow your conviction and be truthful. Nevertheless, we will not compromise on this, right? So that's what we learned from you.
Good.
And Shashi Bhushan ji, who has also written, sir, that he.
Yes.
It's very inspiring to know your journey. So he has already lived that a little bit of your life with you.
So I have one question to sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
No, we will allow you, sir, because
I have read your book, so no question from the book as such. But right now, with your current assignment as advisor to NHI,
yes,
here we find that government is struggling with collection of the fund for their fiscal management. और आपके जो सर मिनिस्टर हैं वो ओपनली टीवी में बोलते हैं कि हमारे पास पैसे की कोई कमी नहीं है, तो क्या ये बदलाव आपके आने के बाद हुआ है?
नहीं, ये बदलाव मैं ये बिल्कुल क्रेडिट नहीं लूंगा. नितिन गडकरी जी जो है वो ही इज ओरिजिनल थिंकर. he knows where from to garner funds. Actually, honestly, Manoj ji, let me tell you, Nitin is a good friend of mine from my college days. We worked together in Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, and he's close to me. So when I retired from IRDA and I gave him Marathi book which I had written, so he said, "What are you doing now?" I said, "नहीं, अभी नागपुर आए हैं, अब देखते हैं, यहाँ कुछ नेशनल कैंसर इंस्टीट्यूट है, उसमें कुछ योगदान देना है." तो बोले बस और कुछ नहीं. तो बोले अभी प्लान तो नहीं है, देखते हैं. तो बोले नहीं, I want you in NHI. I said, "What for?" He said, "I want you to help NHI to garner funds from international financial institutions and domestic financial institutions, because we want more and more funds for construction activities. And a person like you who has moved in with top people should be in a position to help us in doing that." So I said, "But Nitin, I don't want to go to Delhi. Now, after so many years, I have come back to Nagpur. If you allow me to operate from Nagpur, I'm ready. Salary is no issue at all. You give me 1 rupee, I am happy with that. Money is not a problem. But now, after coming back to Nagpur after so many years, now I don't want to leave Nagpur, mainly because I am constructing my house." So he said, "Okay, you don't worry. I will ensure that you operate from home, work from home." So I just went there, took charge a year before, and then we started contacting the institutional investors, and I'm really happy to tell you that our target was 70,000 crores to be raised. See, secondly, in NHI, I don't have assignment to look into day-to-day affairs, like contractor का bill pay किया कि नहीं वगैरह, ये नहीं देखना है मुझे सिर्फ फंड रेजिंग का काम था. तो उस हिसाब से हमने we had already crossed, I don't have latest figure, but 65,000 crores we had already collected. So that was a good achievement, I can say. So long as they find me useful, I will continue with them. At any time, if they think that, okay, they can do on their own, I am on my own. There is no issue at all.
Wow, sir. I
सर
really
एक क्वेश्चन और
don't.
सर, आपके बुक में लिखा था कि डॉक्टर को शायद ये अंदेशा था कि आप सरवाइव नहीं करोगे आफ्टर द थर्ड ऑपरेशन, बट
You are right.
ही वेंट अहेड एंड थैंक गॉड यू आर देयर. जब आपको ये मालूम हुआ कि डॉक्टर के दिमाग में ऐसी चीज थी, मतलब उसके बाद में बताया आपको, ऑफ कोर्स, हाउ डिड यू फील सर?
No, I thanked my surgeon, Dr. Ankur Shah, who has left India. He is now in UK. I thanked him. I said, Dr. Shah, had you really been afraid even 1%, with whatever your colleagues had said, you would not have performed my surgery, and probably I would have lived with my cancer for a couple of years and then died. Before performing surgery, I had told Dr. Ankur Shah, Ankur, my father died on operation table itself. He died of kidney failure. His one kidney had stones. Doctors those days, there were no dialysis or anything was not there. In 1961, he died. So when they tried to open the kidney for surgery, they found that the other kidney is still more damaged. As a result of which, he died on operation table. I said, Doctor, I don't want to die on operation table. He said, Mr. Sathe, you don't worry. I will ensure that if I am not in a position to perform this surgery properly within given time, I will close my surgery, but I will ensure that you do not die on operation table. I will make you live with cancer rather than make you die without it.
Oops.
Just see this power of the sentence.
Indeed.
That gave me confidence.
Indeed.
That gave me confidence.
So I think one of the comment is how to get toughness in the spirit. This is how to get toughness in the spirit. साथे सर क्या करूं? बिल्कुल भी इसको कंप्लीट करने का मन नहीं हो रहा है. I've read your book, sir. I've just lived through those stories. I have each of us have, we must pick up this book. I'm so delighted that I could be a part of this session, got to meet you, sir. I've been living through your Facebook stories even before I met you. So I know you more as a storyteller. Please continue to be one. Continue to inspire us. And for closing remarks, I would like to invite Professor Abhijit Chattaraj.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Saloni. A wonderful conversation we witnessed just now. What could I say about Sathe sir? All that I can say is that he is a wonderful human being. Unfortunately, I have not been able to go through his book. I know the person. So I said he is a wonderful human being, humility personified, modest to a fault. So down to earth. When I saw him for the first time, I looked at his face, the glow in his face and his cherubic smile. Both were captivating and stimulating. I kept on looking at him. I never got the opportunity to talk to him. 2 years back, Manojji and I had the occasion when he came to BIMTech, and I heard about his life story, and it was so moving. When I was growing up, that generation people will remember, I saw one movie and one portrayal. And the portrayal by Rajesh Khanna in the movie Anand, when he suffered from leukemia. And the way he's lived his life, it will always inspired me whenever I used to get into any kind of despondency. And that lived with me. I wish that Rajesh Khanna had done only that movie, he would have become immortal. And that is, of course, the real life story. But the real life story is that of Mr. NILESH Sathe. The way, despite being suffering from one of the deadliest disease, he took up the challenge and went up to take up this assignment with IRDA. And if there is any history of insurance industry is ever written in the annals of insurance history, Mr. Sathe's name will be always remembered or forever with the kind of services he has rendered. I'm reminded of an instance in 1988. My senior division manager and my regional manager asked me to interview one of the most well-known persons in general insurance industry, Mr. G.V. Rao. He is no more. I also had the occasion to write his obituary. And I was asked to interview for a newspaper called Times of India at Ranchi Airport. And I was not very sure whether I am in a noble profession or not. Insurance was not seen as a noble profession. And the kind of abuses we were used to in the offices. And I will not like to mince words that we were pathetic, at times diabolical also, while treating with our customers. Things have changed for good since then. And I asked him this one question, sir, are we in a noble profession? And what he said insurance is possibly the most noble professions, among the most noble professions in the world. He said, we are one who wipe out the tears from the eyes of victims' family. And that is something stays with my memory for all time. Yes, we are in a good profession, noble profession, and the profession is noble because we have people like Mr. NILESH SATHE, and he has made the profession nobler over the period of time. And another thing that we most often try to undermine the role of mothers. We all are helped by mother, but somehow not many people write about the role of mothers in their life. I've gone through many autobiography and not seen that people hail the role of their mothers. I'm reminded of the words of Napoleon Bonaparte when he says, give me good mother and I shall give you good nations. That's the importance of mothers, and I was so glad to see that Mr. Sathe very vividly brought the role of his mother in his life. And we need good mothers, we need civilized nations, and if we have good mothers, we get civilized nations. Thank you, sir, for joining this conversation, and I'm sure you are also part of our industry academia, illustrious group of insurance. You will continue helping us. You will continue motivating and stimulating people all around you, and wish you a very healthy life ahead. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining this beautiful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Just one second. Let me, Saloni, let me thank Dr. Harivansh Chaturvedi, my friend Manoj, Dr. Adhiraj Chattopadhyay, Professor Pratik, and Professor Arora, and of course you for conducting this session so well.
Yeah.
I'm really overwhelmed. I'm thankful to BIMTech for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
So it's a big blessing to us, sir, and we are waiting for your next book. I'm sure this time the NHAI stories will be there. And God bless you, sir, with wonderful health. And no matter what, you never gave up. We'll never give up. And we'll meet very soon once again.
Thank you so much.
रिक्वेस्ट था कि बुक हिंदी में कब अवेलेबल होगी?
yes,
अभी अनुवाद कौन करेगा? मेरी हिंदी तो उतनी अच्छी नहीं है.
सर हम कर दें.
जरूर करो 100%.
सर पॉडकास्ट करिए आपकी बुक का. I think that will reach more people. We'll wait for the news, sir. Thank you so much. Take care. Take care, everyone. And be a story to tell a story. This brunch is always, arranged. Most of the Saturdays I'm busy doing these things, meeting such wonderful people. I'm looking forward to the next one very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.